Hello! Welcome in Satisfactory. I did finish the game on the current save and I wanted to give you a spotlight. It takes a very long time to finish the game, so I'm not gonna record that, but I thought a look around would be nice. So we're in the hub. Let's take a look outside. So we're in the rocky desert, and here I built a very long iron chain. And based on that, everything is added. So it's a single iron ore chain from start to finish. Of course, it has several different nodes that are connected to it. So the space elevator, everything is done and gone. I developed all stuff in the hub. So let's first go here. After starting up, this is my starter area. Like I removed everything from the floor and this is my first build up. So it goes all into containers and from the containers it goes into the dimensional storage. You see some basic stuff for copper. While I was busy with that, I also needed some copper sheets. And I placed it counter to it and added it to a container also. I forgot to plan for it, so it's here. And everything is also synced. How do you say it? Synced? Put in the sink. It's on the logistics floor. So this is my logistics floor for the beginning. I also can put things in the container to sync. Over here there's a programmable splitter. I get iron plates and copper sheets. And here they're split off. And after they're full they go out. So they come out here and they go under the everything to be used somewhere else. Over here. To make canisters. And with these canisters I make biofuel. Here's the start of my biofuel and it also exits here. It has a straight setup. And then you see the startup that I used. So then here you see mostly the items that are needed for the space elevator. I also removed stuff over time, but It's mostly still here. Some things I'm still manually feeding, but there's always some nice stock and it always continues making stuff. Over time I added more and more stuff that's automated. I think here you see most things are automated. Yeah, steel beams is automated, but we don't make enough. Oh, I did not connect it yet. Let's pick some up. Yeah, it probably is running idle for a while already. But you can see over time I added mostly all stuff to containers that I first filled manually. But that I make a lot of goods that were needed. I'm tried this level not to make a lot of spaghetti. I keep it all like mostly level, which yeah succeeded quite nicely. Here I made an exception in the beginning somewhere. I needed these guys. And I started with a container first and then connected it. And here I used the copper sheets to make AI limiters. This is also the place where my criterion comes in. Where I make wire. Yeah, I think I could sink a lot of stuff, but I don't. I just was aiming to finish the game. So then let's get to my startup after the base goods. So I start with iron plate. Which you need a lot, then I slooped. You can see here all containers that I put up, they're all filled up. And they go into the depot. Let's follow the line for a bit. You see the progression. into the different types, and the industry gets more complex, of course. Here, the supercomputers, that's quite complex already. Of course, you get bigger and bigger supply chains to get it all going. And here I made some extra rotors. As I said, I have one big line with iron coming in, and here copper, big knots. And they're made over there with some here also some water is pumped up. Here's some in and output towards, oh sorry, some in and outputs towards the oil factory. So the rubber, the plastic. See, the water has quite some transport range. Let's focus on that a little bit later. So you can see my aim was not to have spaghetti. It's mostly flat. And yeah, in general, everything is provided by containers, so I can manually fill them. Of course, now everything is I'm not sure if you heard that. Everything is connected now, so besides that few containers near the space elevator. But most things should be flowing in without a problem. And I really aimed for building no big spaghetti. And I think I succeeded quite well. Oh yeah, I probably used them. On the other side, you maybe already noticed there were some more high-end stuff. So here I started with the water that I brought in. Making silica from bauxite and alumina solution. Putting it nicely into scrap. I looped the output and here you can push it back in. It's nice and stable. Batteries are full and nice. Capacity is enough. slowly get more advanced here. With the products that we have. The mixers for the motor flames. And all the little stuff that you need for it. Here's the heat sinks. Still aiming for very low amount of spaghetti. Turbo motors, batteries, motors. I think they're also connected already. Yep. So they're started out with containers again and then later got connected. So you can see the drain is bringing in the liquid, or the gas by the way. The gas. Let's pick it up. Let's see where it's picked up. So here's the pickup station. Here I had my coal production. Also aiming to have no spaghetti. All nicely fed from a higher location. And stable. is the pick of the iron ore. Ah, sorry, copper or copper ore. And the refineries where I put it into the nice ignite. Welcome to my Earl refinery. Of course, with the multiple inputs and outputs, always a little bit harder to avoid the spaghetti, but in general, I think it's very successful. Producing some fabric here. Nice, steady, heavy oil residue. And a second one. Also very stable. Here we're making energy a lot. And here is my plastic. And my rubber. And they're transported to my base. So the factory taps from these main lines. And here I had a problem with some stone, but after a nice S-turn they come back to the containers. Here I have that production. And also my silica. Also nicely labeled. Here's some storage. Here I can dump SAM if I want, and then it goes into the factory. But it's replaced by a delivery already. As you see, it's fully developed. So here I do some which then get distributed over my several factories, and here I have a return belt for coal because that's necessary over here where you get some more high-end production. And I also bring some coal in from over there, and also SAM is coming in that way. Oh, sorry, and the output is brought to the even more complicated production. So we then get that tier 5 production. And I didn't really plan it out, I just put it all in and got it working. Also the spaghetti is a little bit more, but I can live with it. I was also like, let's get this game done. I think there's also some manual feeding. Yeah, I was making some extra. With some more copper produced. With the water coming in from the lake. So the logistics floors are also not very much crossing. There are a few crossings, but not a lot. I mostly worked with the floor. And here's my sushi belt to the dump, how do you call it, the sink. Sometimes I also siphon off, so that if something is used in the one part of the factory, I bring it back up in the front of the factory so I can use the supplies if they're necessary at that moment. And if not, they are dumped in the sink. So yeah, I think it's very nice. Feels very organized. It took, of course, a lot of time to set up, but Yeah, very enjoyed setting it up. So this is the node for the sum. Strange to hear an object that's not picked up yet. So here some extra energy production. All nice and stable. And the logistics floor for it. That's so far node. Oh, here you can see I pick up the bauxite from the top node. Here there's a weird bug that you can, at certain few distances, you see the hard drives. So we saw the basic factory. Everything around the space elevator. The inline production of everything with the more advanced factories. Slowly built opposite of it to then be expanded over here and connected to even the tier 5 stuff with some extra production. So I hope you liked this spotlight. If you have some questions, feel free to ask. I really enjoyed building this. I didn't build for no flying stuff. I don't care. It's just having fun. I hope you do too. See you later. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.